So I woke up this morning excited for the day, and I had a plan to make a video about Benny Johnson at Toilet Paper USA. But when I got onto YouTube's, literally the first thing that popped up for me was this insane clip right here of Erika Kirk. You gotta check it out.
One is running for the highest office in the country. The other is ready to grieve.
You ready to grieve?
This summer, two strangers, two very different lives, and one unexpected moment that changes everything. Fall in love all over again. A story of love, loss, and grifting.
Please wait, where are you going?
I'm going to save the country.
When are you gonna save me?
Sometimes, the greatest love stories are born from heartbreak. Glitter and Grieve, coming 2026.
I mean, this has to be the strangest form of grieving ever recorded in the public spotlight. You know, they say everybody has their own way of grieving, but it's just strange because I really, right after this happened, she had the whole Turning Point USA memorial for Charlie, and she has the whole WWE thing going on with the pyrotechnics, her leather pants, the insane amount of makeup she wears with that never runs, by the way. She needs a sponsorship for that, a brand sponsorship for whatever makeup she's wearing that never runs. And I really wanted to believe that she was grieving. I pulled back on a lot of my comments on social media because I have some friends who are pretty religious, and they're not necessarily like Kirk lovers, but they are very religious, and they wanted to believe that she is a true believer, and she wasn't Charlie, and she was just the wife, so we should be kind to her. And after I saw the clip of her, this clip here,
That young man on the cross, our Savior said, "Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do." That man, that young man, I forgive him.
so at face value, right, when I saw that, I was like, man, that's impressive. With all the Reddit going on, with Trump going up there and saying, oh, the left are my enemies, and being the most scumbagish president we've ever had, I thought that the way she carried herself and she forgave the assassin of her husband was pretty impressive. But then, as some days passed, I started thinking, like, it was so movie-esque. It just seemed so perfect that it made no sense, because I think it'd been less than about a week. Let's say a week after he was assassinated that this took place. I think the normal human reaction would have been, at best, not to say anything, and at worst, be angry and say, I'm not forgiving him yet. I can't forgive him yet. Who could forgive that fast, right? Of course, people forgive months, years later. In hindsight, you watch those. I watch documentaries about people whose family members have been killed by somebody, a murderer, and he's at the execution chamber, and they say we've forgiven him, right? And a lot of times it's 20 years after, right? They've forgiven him because it takes time. But to forgive less than a week later, even if her intention's good, but to go out and publicly say that, or even just to go out in front of millions of people, right? This isn't like her at her husband's eulogy with just family and friends. This is a nationally televised event where half the country they gobbled Trump's nonsense, they show up to this. And I think a normal person wouldn't have spoken, and a brave person would have said, I can't forgive yet, but it's my intention to. So it just seems super strange, this whole this whole thing with her. I don't know, man. I don't get it. And on top of it, right now, they got Nicki Minaj, who Charlie couldn't stand, going out there, right? These cringy, they're using it. These cringy people. They platform these cringy people.
And you have amazing role models like the assassin J.D. Vance, our vice president.
And I just wonder what she meant by assassin. Like, is it a Freudian slip that she thinks there's this conspiracy that, JD and somebody had Charlie killed? Like, I don't get it.
And when I say that,
It's just weird, man. It's just super weird.
Trust me, there's nothing new under the sun.
And she's just gobbling it up. She doesn't look she looks so relaxed. She looked like she's been waiting for this moment her entire life. She's not phased at all. At all.
Time that I have not heard, so you're fine.
And
amazing.
and the worst part about all this is Charlie couldn't even stand this woman. I mean, do you think Charlie would have approved of this? Look, she's got Nicki Minaj up at the Toilet Paper USA event, but Charlie himself couldn't stand Nicki Minaj.
Influences, songs,
Which
and role models.
influences?
I mean, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B.
Okay, Nicki Minaj is causing dads to leave the home.
Honest, I don't think that's a good role model for 18-year-old black girls.
Everyone knows it's Khalees who makes the boys leave the homes. It brings them... Whatever. Anyways, so that's the the strange little world of Toilet Paper USA that woke me up this morning, and I wanted to talk about it because it's just so strange. And I'm wondering, let me know what you think the whole assassin thing from Nicki Minaj was about. What you think about Erika. I feel bad because Charlie was a douche. He's a big, giant, douche. But no one deserves to fucking die just for being a douche. You just ignore douches and you move on. Kind of like the guys, they comment on some of my videos here that, oh, I'm offended and this, that, and the third, but they don't have a fucking clue, okay? I've had guns pointed to my face. I've been chased out of countries, and you think a weird guy with no profile picture on YouTube is going to offend me and make me afraid to make videos? Come on, papa. Ain't nobody worried about you. Anyways, have a great Sunday, and I'll see you again tomorrow.